Okay, cool. I believe I've set this up correctly, as I did yesterday. So, oh, actually, you know what? I'm gonna go for a motorbike ride. And I'm gonna go up to Chao Samran Beach, which is about 30 minutes drive north, but I'll take my time. Sorry, Cop. And actually I can take this off. Hello, Cop. That guy's great. He was here last year when Gracie and I were here, and he's a really, really nice guy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hook this up and just go for a little ride. I don't have the fall on the ground and damage my camera option set up. It doesn't mean it's not available to me though. So anyway, with any luck that won't occur, and all I will do is live in a gigantic bucket of safety. I will mention a couple of times as I do this that I cannot see the comments because I'm streaming with the GoPro, but I tell you, one of the big enjoyments for me is the ease with which you can stream on YouTube. So let me just make sure. Actually, I'm going to tilt this because then when I tilt the bike up, that'll be good. But I believe I have that tight enough. And, any luck, make sure my helmet is on correctly, or at least with some degree of tightness. Okay, good. Okay. Oh yeah, and then I'm tethered to my phone. I was amazed yesterday at the audio, at the video quality, and just everything, so I can't wait to do it again. It says I have 2 bars on the gas tank, so that makes me happy because now that means I have the ability to go get gas from the gas family. This and this. Straighten you guys out a bit here. I believe this is straight enough. With any luck, that'll allow me to. All right, good. Sorry, Cop. Oh yeah. Right. Thank you. Sorry, Cop. I thought I would cruise over there and talk to that guy. Have a good day. He's great. I forgot that. Anyway. Oh, you know what? I want to come here tomorrow. They have the open sign, of course, but that doesn't mean anything. But I do want to come here tomorrow, Saturday. The family that owns this also owns a gigantic house way in the back there that you can't see. But they're from Bangkok and they come here on the weekends, and they have that little. Oh man, I should have put sunscreen on my legs. Oh well. Anyway, so they come and they have that little cafe there, and I will tell you that 1 year ago today, when no one knew even how to spell COVID, Gracie and I went there, and it was, you know, the beginnings of high season, arguably, and there was nobody there. That's a cool looking. Oh wow, that's nice. Oh, that's a new restaurant. Oh cool, I'll come there for lunch. That's great. Open 7:45 in the morning. That doesn't necessarily mean they have breakfast, but they open early. That's great. And they're open till midnight, so since it's right on the beach and it's new, that might be a good. Now this place on the left that I just went by, that was the place that had a giant crab in the front. And by giant, I mean like as tall as me. And Gracie, if you're watching, that's the giant crab restaurant back there. But the giant crab's not there. They removed it, so. Here's what I discovered in watching back my video yesterday. So my mouth, my body, is approximately just under a meter away from this camera. I am going 34 kilometers an hour. So basically, if I were to stop the bike, essentially there's no wind. So there is 35 to 40 kilometers per hour of wind noise. And I just, whoop. That's another thing I'm going to figure out today is how to keep that from doing that. I need a lock nut, but I need a really small one because oh, I think he's got Cafe Baron. Stand by. Anyway, I discovered that basically all I need to do is speak with the volume I discovered that as loud as I speak, however loud I am, the camera picks up exactly what my ears hear. Oh, good. Cafe Baron? Boran, sorry, Boran. Ice. I don't have a quick release, but I'll show you guys what I'm getting. Basically, this is the world's best coffee with the world's best smile. And I don't know if you can tell how dark it is, but it's awesome. And then he'll put like sweetened condensed milk, and then he'll put other things, and then there's a thing of ice there. So I'm getting my iced coffee, and I'm gonna go with probably Yisip Ha. Yisip Ha? Okay, Kap. So 25 baht. And so that's what I'll be doing over there. Let me mount this back on the bike, and I'll get my coffee in my bag. It's going to be in a container, but at least it'll be. Oh, there we go. All right. Alright, so got my coffee. I can hang it on the handlebars right now, so off we go. Alright, Mark. Chicken place back there, but I don't eat much. There's a fresh coffee stand back there. So undoubtedly, if you watch any of my videos because you have interest in Thailand, then I'm guessing you already know JC and Nat of RetiredCheap.Asia. And so he and her, they have a condo here. He's down in Bangsapan Beach, I believe, and he's down there for another couple days. He said he's going to cruise back up here after they pick up some packages down there. So I may get to hang out with him probably Sunday or Monday, it depends. I'm scheduled to go back to Bangkok on Monday. But the reason I bring that up is that I haven't watched a lot of his videos lately because, and by lately I mean like since June, because they have, or he has a desire for basically the news and critiquing global events, and that's very helpful for a lot of people to get another opinion on what's going on globally. However, for me, I really do not care at all. And in fact, I find it very undesirable to watch to watch YouTube that's based on any sort of, you know, COVID type stuff. Like, just, dude, what are you gonna do about it? So anyway, I discontinued watching him for, well, basically the last 5 to 6 months. So I went back, because I'm a member of his member site, and so I went back to his members videos, and he and Nat went to an island basically just west of Koh Samui, which you could argue, yes, Mike, Thailand is west of Koh Samui. But west of Koh Samui, there's an island that I believe is called Koh Panlai, but I'm not quite sure. It's like P-H-A-N-L-U-A-I or something like that. It almost looks like a Hawaiian spelled word. I'm gonna slow down and let this guy go past me because he's like annoying me, and I would rather be on his tail than allow him to tailgate me. Because for some reason he didn't see enough of a desire to go around me, so therefore I let him go around me. This area right here it actually always makes me smile, because for whatever reason, one of the first places that I came to one morning to go for like a walk on the beach that wasn't just right outside of our door was around here, and parked my bike in front of a 7-Eleven, and I wonder if he's doing the same thing. He's like, you know, that motorbike guy, he's pretty close to my tail. I'm gonna pull over and let him pass me. Anyway, so I parked around here near a 7-Eleven, and then just walked across the street and passed, you know, just right in front of all those seats and umbrellas that you see, and walked on the beach one morning. And it was probably early on, like less than 2 weeks after Gracie and I moved here. So it was sort of like a discovery, and that was very enjoyable. I have a prescription back in Bangkok at one of the pharmacies that is, it's a prescription that, while not, so, yeah, so there's the post office right there on the left, and so the last time I went to the post office in Bangkok, which was about 2 days ago, to mail my mom some postcards, the woman seemed very confident that it was going to go by airmail, and that it was going to go by plane, and that it was going to get there, and that sort of thing. The last time I sent my mom some postcards, she said it took three and a half months. But basically all of the postcards that I sent over the course of probably from about 3 months ago to 6 months ago, they all ended up in the mailbox on the same day at home. About 2.5-3 weeks ago. So I figured, all right, well, I'll try it again, and so I sent them off basically at the beginning of the week, which tells me that she should get them in approximately 2 weeks, postcards. So anyway, so yeah, so that was the post office back there. So, but also the pharmacy, to the pharmacy thing, I have prescriptions that she said, well, they'll be available on Thursday. Well, I left Bangkok Wednesday morning to come down here, so I ended up going to some other pharmacy and bought, like, you know, a week's worth. So I figure while I'm down here, maybe what I'll do is I'll go to like a couple of these pharmacies here along the beach, just walk from one to the next and see if they have that, and if they don't, that's fine, but because I know that they're available. So there was a horse over there that is hanging out underneath the umbrellas. This area right here, what's this guy doing? This area right here is also very comfortable to me. This 7-Eleven actually right up here on the left where this gray car is parked, pulling out in front of me. I would park right in front of this place and then walk to the beach to the right. And to give you an idea of where we are, so you may have seen this place, I Love Sweet is the name of the restaurant there on the left. It's basically gringo prices, and it's gringo food. It's not that bad, I guess, but anyway. It's an easy landmark. Most people that have been to Chaham know where I Love Sweet is. But then this area down here, I really like either early in the morning or on the weekdays, because right now it's fairly empty. But this is commonly where those giant tour buses, like the boombox on wheels or the discotheque on wheels, will come back in, and you know, I think they hold 40 people 40 Thais will come out and go to the beach, which is great. I mean, again, they should be doing that, and trust me, it's a bus full of Asian people, but it is not a bus full of Chinese people. I have not had a lot of enjoyment being around busfuls of Chinese people that I've experienced thus far. I'm not saying that's impossible, but so here's a couple of things I'm going to do after I cross this bridge. Not the least of which is not drive over the same pothole that I drove over yesterday. And secondly, I am not going to have the GoPro fly off of my motorbike, which is right there, that hole right there. That's where I lost it yesterday. And I watched back, I couldn't believe it. I mean, it was like, you know, first of all, it was like there was no bumps up until that one point, and then the camera flies off, and then it, you know, it hits the ground at like, you know, 30 kilometers an hour, and then it's just okay. I'm actually gonna cruise over to this thing because I really like it. Again, you know, pit stops along the way are the way I like to live my life. And the last time I was in here, I just simply parked I just simply parked right, where did I park? I parked right here. And so I'm gonna go take a look at this, what Gracie and I refer to as the Shy Buddha. Because, I mean, let's face it, the Buddha that's lying down, they refer to as the reclining Buddha. So if this one is, well, shy, why not refer to this as the Shy Buddha? Makes sense, right? Alright, so this is turning out to be an okay setup here on the bike. It's not perfect for sure. I mean, it's not like I have quick release, but I have pretty darn quick release. Anyway, so this is what I mean by the Shy Buddha. I've been up there on the tiled platform, and I'm pretty certain that when I go up there, I need to take off my shoes. So that's pretty awesome. Hello, cop. Howdy, cop. Nice family over there. So anyway, I'm gonna come back here when it's a little cooler. I know if I were to stand and walk up there right now, it's incredibly hot. So I'm not gonna do that. But that, I believe, is what I refer to as awesome. Now, I've turned off my ringer on my phone, but I felt like it was just vibrating in my pocket. So let me check. Make sure I'm not missing any messages from Gracie. And if I am streaming this live correctly, and if you are watching this on either Facebook or YouTube, do know that I can't see any comments because I'm doing this on my GoPro. Yeah, it says that the streams that I'm basically familiar with seem to be live. And so anyway, all right, cool. Sorry about that. I just want to take 85% of the battery. Let me see what I got on my GoPro right now. It was at 100% when I left this morning. It's at 86%. And what I did last night actually is I did a long stream with it plugged in. So I let it charge up to 100%, and then I basically plugged it in and let it stream plugged in. And what I discovered is that if I let it stream plugged in, then essentially the battery stays at its amount. and so that's good news. Anyway, I like that a lot over there. This makes me feel good. Let me see if I can fit the whole bag in the bottom here. I don't really have a whole lot in it. One of the goals today actually is to go to a store that, if you've been to Thailand or you've been to a mall or you have any interest in cameras in Thailand, in malls, then you'll know of a store called Big Camera. And while those are traditionally in the malls, and really the only sort of mall around here is Blueport down in Hua Hin, but I don't particularly like Hua Hin because there's old white people everywhere, and I feel like I'm in like a retirement home in Florida, and that's not my gig. I like Thai neighborhoods, and I also don't like golf. So anyway, so yeah, a little pit stop. Anyway, so Big Camera is, yes, it's down in Blueport towards Hua Hin, and that's about 30 minutes away if I were to drive constantly and not not stop when I see the Almighty Shai Buddha. However, I don't want to go down there. So anyway, and yesterday I saw this sign for Chao Samran Beach, so that's where we're headed. And the cool part is that's pretty much, it'll take me all the way along the coast, and from there, if I go pretty much directly inland from where Chao Samran Beach is, that area where we'll pull off, then I'm at like 4 bars. Should I get one more bottle of gasoline? What do you guys think? If that family's there, I think I will. They were really cool. Because, I mean, one bottle, that's only 30 baht, so I'll definitely be able to fit 30 baht in here, and then I won't be distracted by potentially losing, or not losing, but running out of fuel. However, they... Oh, yeah. Good. Sorry, Kap. Hello. Just nong.
ขวดเดียวสีละสีเหลืองเข้มเป็นน้อยหวานเนี่ยสีเหลือง95
แก้วฮาใช่ไหมแก้วฮา
ใช้ดีแรงแรง
Now go Chao Samran Beach
ลุงยำอะไรนะสำราญบีช
Chao Samran
เจ้าสำราญ
Samran Beach
โน่น
Yeah
ดูวันนอน
ไม่เป็นไร No it's okay
เอากี่ขวด
เจ้าสำราญ
Oh wait
เจ้าสำราญ
Yeah need one more champ Yeah I think so
ไปลูกกิ้งสำรานหรือโฮม
My home
โฮมสำราน
Home no I just go beach
เขาจะไปเที่ยวหาดเจ้าสำราญ
อ๋อหาดเจ้าสำราน
ใช่
หาดเจ้าสำรานไปประมาณ
But
20 โลว่าไงวะ
30 kilometers
เต็ม30-20อ่ะ
Okay
วิ่งอยู่โก
Yep
อยู่เคยลุกเลยใช่ไหมเคยลุกไหม
เคยไปไหมเคยโกไหม
Oh my เขาใช่ไหม
ไม่เคยไป
ไม่เคยไป
ไป
โกลูกโกหาดเจ้า
Oh no just go beach
บีชหาดเจ้า
Beach yeah
อยู่โกนะอยู่
Yeah up and then ขวา
ข้ามสะพาน
Straight
ข้ามสะพาน
Yeah
ลูกกิ้ง
Yeah
มันจะ
oh
มี
yeah
มันจะมีอะไรว่ามีเจ้าอาจารย์มีอันนั้นมีปึกเตียนมึงบอก
Oh okay sign Yeah good
อยู่ลูกนะ
จะเขียนเป็นภาษาไทยกับภาษาอังกฤษป้ายอย่างเงี้ยเขาเรียกป้ายบอกทางป้ายข้างทาง
ลูก
Okay
ลูก
good
เป็น
I good yeah
เป็นหน่วยฟัง
พูดได้ภาษาไทยนิดหน่อย
เรียนก่อนแล้วก็ไปหาเจ้า
โก
Okay yeah
แล้วก็โก
แบบนี้
เจ้า
Okay
ยกขับสลีอร่อยไหมไทยแลนด์
อร่อย
อร่อย
Coffee, Thai style.
Madam Thailand.
Number one.
Madam Thailand.
No, Fan Philippines. She come though, yeah. Yeah.
No, come to Philippines.
No. โอเคครับผมละครับสวัสดีครับ Oh man. I don't know, maybe 3 words. She was trying to tell me the word for sign, I believe. Whoop, speed bump. Okay, so now I have a full 6 bars. Okay, so she basically filled me up. I didn't know I would need 2, but it did look like there was some room in there. So I thought, okay, well, you know. So that's cool. Usually, I've never heard them ask me, you know, like do you have a Thai girlfriend? In that way. Usually they're like you have Thai girlfriend or whatever. But he said Madame, so that's interesting. He's like, is your Madame Thai, which is very common, especially if I express any sort of knowledge of living here or whatever. Although I'm sure, I don't know why they do that, because they must listen to my Thai and be like, there's no way this guy is a Thai girlfriend. Anyway, so what I've discovered, the best way to answer that is to just say Fan Philippine, which basically means, at least what I believe it means, is I have a, you know, Philippine girlfriend or Philippine wife or Philippine significant other. I'm not completely sure if that is the translation of the word fan. I know that in Tagalog, Gracie and I use the word asawa to basically describe each other. I'm pretty sure asawa doesn't stand for fiance, but it's more like significant other, husband, wife, or whatever. Anyway, regardless of the literal translation, it's been my experience that using Fan Philippine here, the people understand that that means I have that Gracie is freaking fantabulous Philippines, which is good because I can understand why their default setting for someone who's American is not, oh yeah, that guy's awesome. It's like, oh my god, that guy's diseased. Anyway, but then I usually tell them that I've been living here. And what's interesting is that I've basically, from a Cha-am perspective, I've been in Cha-am for a whole year. Or, you know, I'm back to Cha-am 1 year later, rather. And so, that's interesting. Okay, so these guys are standing there. And, oh, I see. So I made it just before they're going to open this drawbridge. You guys want to watch that? That'll be kind of interesting. Why not, right? Let me turn around, and then we can go watch I believe, quite, you know, at least pretty darn manual experience with the drawbridge. And oh, he's closing it right now. Oh, this is perfect. I'll park here in the shade, and we'll be good to go. Yeah, right on. And we'll get them upping the bridge as well. I'll bring my coffee with me, because I have a feeling this will take more than 5 minutes because it's in Thailand. And okay, so there it goes. Awesome. How is he doing it? Is he like controlling it with the thing on the left here? I see, there we go. Oh, okay, so there's like a switch in there. So he's basically just like pushing a switch, and obviously the motor is going up there. And the reason we're doing this is because this guy, wow, he is like, he's either dragging that on the bottom and there's not a whole lot of water underneath those barges, because I mean, kind of like once you get them going, right? But he's got a whole lot of motor and not a whole lot of momentum. But I love watching this. The other thing too is I will bet you a Tong Hong bottle of gasoline that the ropes that are tied to the back of this, you know, tugboat effectively, or fishing boat or whatever, towboat, the hook on the back is going to be this giant chrome hook that has that like little kind of swirl to it, like a lot of Thai things do. Now I really want to walk over on the other side of the railing, but actually I know I'll see over there. I'm not going to be able to see the hook, I don't think, until he gets over us. A bottle of gasoline because it wasn't a giant silver hook on the back. Yeah, see, he's taking pictures too. Nice. Oh, there you go. That's a cool spot right there, dude. Guy has his umbrella, leaning on the drawbridge. I have a lot more appreciation for this bridge now. Before I was just like, this is annoying, it's metal, it's not, it's a little bit weird driving on it with motorbike tires, right? See, I got her to smile. Right on. I wonder what that like is. Like, is that like your life? Or were they just like, you know what, I don't have a whole lot going on today. Why don't I hop on some of these barges? And obviously it's covered. Now, I don't know about... Pray to God it's not durian. The world needs a hell of a lot less durian, just so we're clear. Oh, wow. So there's a guy in back. How'd he go? So there's a guy in back. Oh, interesting. Okay, so there's a guy, check this out. So there's a guy in back. Wow, that's interesting. That must be, that's like almost the most important job back there. If these things swing out of the wrong way, you're in deep trouble. And it's basically a barge that's the way it's done that way. Now, obviously, I'm enjoying this. The traffic's starting to back up. Hello, Sawadee Kap! I'm not quite sure. I could probably get away with doing exactly what I'm doing here in the US. But there might be a lot more authoritarian people saying, hey, dude, you can't be like standing there on the side, on the freeway. Now, I don't know if you can pick this up in the lens, but you can see a significant amount of the water, the soil underneath being churned up. Oh, wow, they don't waste any time. Look at that. He's like, okay, if I start lowering it now, then long before, like, you know, after this thing gets out of the way, then we can go down. Now, you know, I actually think manually, I think there's a guy on each side. There's a guy here, but then there's a guy all the way on the end there, and he's near that electric motor or whatever. And it's hydraulics that push it up and down, if you don't know. I didn't know whether it would be a giant, you know, motor, which would be a bit odd, but now I'm pretty certain that they don't necessarily need to have one go down before the other, but they might. The other end might need to go down ahead of time. And then it kind of just like flop. No, it looks like it's pretty much a seam, and they go right together. And Oh, and then there's like these little handles on the side, and that like locks them together. Very cool. Yeah, and then they manually pull that thing and... Ah, there you go. Nice, very cool. Huh. Not something you see everyday.com. So that's cool. Yeah, so the rear guy. I wasn't, I mean, it makes complete sense to me, but I don't know if I've ever seen it. Oh, and then he locks it back up. Sorry, cop. Yeah, he like pulls the stern or the back over. Wow, look at that. I mean, he is like, I really have a feeling that he's more skilled at it. He's not going to capsize that thing. But as you can imagine, to get it to keel over that much, then you're absolutely, you know, standing on the gas. And but it makes sense, right, to have the boat go that way. So I was thinking, well, maybe he should go, you know, in the direction of it, right? He should have his bow basically at the end. But it's like, no, that's actually the best way to do it. Because then, you know, if you get way off, the guy in front could just basically shut down and sit there stationary. And then the guy in back could easily just, you know, slam on the gas 90 degrees, you know, perpendicular to the last one, pull it right over, bam, and then you're good to go again. So definitely interesting to me. Yeah, you can see the bottom really churned up down there, or at least I can. I'm not quite sure how good this camera is. I'm only doing 1080p at 60 frames a second. I did have the anti-flicker at 50 hertz, so that was basically 1080 at 50. But then I realized, nah, the majority of people that might watch this from this camera, probably from the US. So I was anticipating you guys will have 60 hertz. So not that I'm doing a whole lot of stuff indoors anyway, so that doesn't matter. But yeah, and then I'm gonna basically wait till all of this traffic subsides because I'm in zero hurry, and hop back on my little motorbike over there. Once again, thank you so much to Noise Pit Stop, N-O-I, Noise Pit Stop, for having the absolute genius move of making sure every single one of our motorbikes has a white seat instead of a black seat. In fact, I think it should actually be illegal in this part of the world for Honda to manufacture with black seats. That's so nice. So anyway, I'm showing you this sign simply because I'm quite certain that you can't read this one. No, I'm kidding. So Chao Samran Beach, that's where I'm going. I think it's about 25 kilometers from here. So there we go. There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. Boom. Made it across unscathed. All right. Do you guys do that? Like, I mean, do you ever like stop and watch a drawbridge? One of the drawbridges near my house, where my parents lived, where I grew up, in a town called Quincy, not spelled with a Z, but pronounced with a Z, Q-U-I-N-C-Y. The Quincy shipyards are fairly industrial, and so therefore they were having a boat come in and out, and which is not super common. And so the drawbridge was going to go up, so it was actually a big deal for that like time. And Gracie and I were home at that time, and they were coming. It was like 7 p.m. or something like that, you know. And they don't do it a lot because, of course, if we were to stop traffic, it wouldn't be just like this. It would stop thousands of people going over this, you know, basically 6-lane road. So they do it, you know, they time it, right? And they almost like publish the time so that it doesn't like encroach in regular traffic. But so anyway, but as you might guess, I think we can argue that the traffic coming from the south is more dense than the traffic coming from the north. So there's a lot of people we're basically waiting for. the timing is not going to be super awesome, although that truck over there, nah, it's not. He's got too much momentum, even though he's not going very fast. He's moving a lot of mass, and so I don't expect him to be able to stop quickly enough, should I pull out in front of him and not do it elegantly. Okay, so this, and then a motorbike empty on my side, and then coming from the other way. It's a pretty steady stream of cars, but looks like I can sneak in there, and that's what I'm going to do. And boom. Now I believe the quickest way to Khao Sam Beach is to just keep going straight, but I like a good beach drive, so I'm going to take this way. Hey, I don't know if you guys knew this. I mean, I guess I did intuitively, but I kind of forgot, is that on Google Maps, you can go to settings and you can check these two things that I've just recently checked, which I'm really psyched for. One of them is no tolls, and I get that, and I actually totally knew that that one was there. But the other one is no highways, or no freeways, one or the other. I can't remember which word. Probably highway. No, probably freeway, because it's, you know, Google, California company, right? So it's probably freeway. Regardless, I checked both of those, and then it immediately gave me a route to go that was like, you know, closer to the beach. So I was very happy about it. So I'm pleased that the Google algorithm shares the human algorithm of prefer beach over inland. And I'm not I will say, thank goodness there was such a gigantic push to hands-free driving. You know how it's like, I mean, it's a law, right, in the US. But there's so many people that like cruise around now that basically are just like talking into thin air. And you even see, you know, Thais riding their motorbike, you know, sometimes with the phone crammed into the now is it here? I don't think it's this street. I think it's the next street that I can go, and then I can still sort of end up. Yeah, the weekenders are starting to come in here. It's only Friday morning, but I believe I go to the left, and this will take me sort of close to where I want to go. So let me double check on Google Maps here, so stand by. And just so you know, if you've just joined, I'm not watching this, and I can't say any comments. So I apologize if you were, you know, making a question or something, and you were like, "Hey, so Mike, why aren't you talking to me?" So let's see. So Khao Sam Beach, and from here, Google says 28 minutes. And it says that I should actually turn around and go back to the main road, but I'm not gonna. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kinda sneak along these side roads, but eventually I'm gonna have to go back to what is the 4033 and the 4028. So, but anyway, I'll be able to go a little bit. I'll be able to continue down this thing a little bit more. For a little bit longer here, I think. Yeah, it's funny. So I mean, obviously this is you come here and you eat seafood, right? You don't come here and eat hamburgers. So most of the restaurants, they have a ton of fish, which I really think is like, it's almost like it seems like a very pleasurable ceremony for a Thai family to get together and eat together, for sure, but to eat fish together. So yeah, so this whole domestic tourism thing. It's good to see that, you know, that's happening to some degree, but yeah, I mean, I just saw it over there on the right. You kind of gotta contort yourself to be able to see through the trees here, but I can see the ocean, or the sea. I can see the sea. Tele. Funny too, right? Because in the movies, have you noticed this? Even in, like, you know, 2019, 2020, when there would be a, you know, first run movie, right? Well, in the movie, there's a scene where, you know, let's say the couple or the individual or whatever is driving like a far distance, like cross country or whatever, and they're always driving in like back roads. Which, you know, I mean, let's face it, if you go anywhere in the US and it's more than about 20 or 30 miles, and that freeway is usually, you know, minimum 2 lanes wide on each side, so I don't know how much more. I think I can go right, and then that'll take me, oh no, I can't. I've actually been over there. I think this is wide enough you can see that. Yeah, there's a series of 3 condo buildings, and basically this road just goes right to the water. Here, maybe you can see it for about, yeah, you can see it, right? So right down there, it just simply goes to the beach, with the expectation that anyone driving down that road, you go in and then you turn left and then you go into your condo complex. Now this road, this might be another back road to get me down a couple more blocks, and then I go, so do you guys do this? I have an itch on my head, but I'm wearing a helmet, and I literally just put my fingers up and started touching the top of the helmet. And then of course, as I did that, I realized, wait, I can't scratch my head from outside of this helmet. Yeah, again, if I go right, that's straight down to the beach. And this might take me a little bit further. Now these dogs obviously are, oh my god. Oh, I see why. This is the end. I'm lost. Sorry guys, sorry. I know I'm encroaching. I know. I get it. I was in your neighborhood. Fair enough. But to be fair, you're also the wrong size. You're the size of a cat, not a dog. So, that's too bad. I didn't mean to disrupt those people. Although, to be fair, I think it's about 10:40 in the morning, so with any luck, I didn't wake anybody. I likely disturbed somebody. Now, there's a street here that's got a yellow line down it, so I'm thinking that does not go to a dead end that goes to basically someone's front yard. A lot of farms around here, and not agriculture necessarily, but livestock. I believe those were calves, and actually on the other side of the street was a pen that was full of cows. It's kind of cool. These are like full on that's so Sofitel. Okay, so I know exactly where I am actually. Yeah, Sofitel is a very, it's a luxury brand, really. Anyway, so that's, I've been off actually down to the right, which is kind of a beach area. So I know where I am, which effectively, this basically just takes me back out to the main road. And then from there, I'll need to go up that road a little bit. But the good news is that it's not so main that it's, there will be a ton of traffic, I don't think. You know, what's crazy is that, like, the level of my speech, I know that the camera's picking it up. But honestly, as I was listening to it back, it's almost like the camera picks up my voice better than my own ears do. Well, see, this is obviously, now this is what's referred to as only child traffic right here. And if you were to go to liveinthedream.com, there would be a selfie of someone on a road like this with no traffic. Now, we've been up here before. If you recall yesterday when we drove to Forest Park. So basically, I'm just going about, I don't know, another 25 kilometers past that. I'm going 50 kilometers right now to give you an idea of the, well, 49, but I'm going to give you an idea of the amount of wind noise that there might be. And even if I had a dead cat in the microphone, I don't think I'd be able to hear me as well as this camera hears me. Oh, Gracie and I have been off to the right, actually. We've been down there. There's like, if I was gonna edit this video afterwards, then what I would do is I would put in a still shot of her and I in front of this, I'm trying to think what you would call it down there. It was like an avocado that was made into a little human. So that was really bumpy back there, but I gotta tell you, I am pretty confident this camera did not even indicate it. Amazing technology, Dr. GoPro. Very impressive. Yeah, the other thing too is that I'm going 45 kilometers an hour, and I believe the speed limit here is, I want to say 60. So did you hear, like, my voice, how it just basically vibrated there because of the stuff that was on the ground? I bet the video didn't bounce at all. That's amazing. Anyway, I say that it's 60 miles an hour, or 60 kilometers an hour, because I believe the way that Google calculates the amount of time it's going to take you somewhere is they, you know, simply do quick math based on the speed limit. But I don't know. So anyway, so if Google says that it was going to be 27 minutes for me to get there going 60 kilometers an hour, and right now I'm going 44, then even without little jaunts that I take that allow us to experience a drawbridge, it'll take a while for me to get there, probably about an hour all in, which is fine. I'm in no hurry. Oh, so hey, you guys remember Richard, right? Richard Garnot, the fairly intelligent stock guy, or at least one who I refer to that way, is a skilled, intelligent person with experience in stock discussions and market discussions. Well, he stopped doing videos, right? Well, anyway, I was walking on the beach yesterday, and I drove by a resort that one of his first videos that he ever did, he just basically was walking around this resort, and so he popped into my head, so I took a selfie in front of it, a couple pictures of the beach, or a picture of the beach, sent it to him, and and said, hey man, hope you're well. Was just thinking about you. You popped in my head. I hope everything's great. I hope you're living the dream. And he responded, which I was pleased with. But he responded to say, he's like, thanks a lot, man. He says, I think about you a lot, actually. And he says, and then this, you know, the way that he worded it, he said, why? Well, because a while ago you did a video on basically what's the best thing that could happen. He says, as a guy that was in the stock market and did day trading and that sort of thing for the longest time, he said you basically get trained to look at like what's the worst thing that's going to happen. And again, let's face it, the worst thing that's going to happen, that phrase is a lot more common than the phrase what's the best thing that's going to happen. And he said, I have been so much happier. I'm sorry, I don't know if he worded it that way, but at least the gist of it was that he wanted to thank me because one of the videos that I guess he watched and a takeaway for him was the fact that I did a video on thinking about, hey, what's the best thing that could happen? Why don't you think about that? If you're going to obsess about something that's going to happen in the future that effectively you have limited, if not zero control over, how about we, you know, go through scenarios in our head that aren't doomsday scenarios. Go through scenarios in our head that one could label, I'm thinking about this scenario based on what's the best thing that could happen. So that was encouraging, that was a takeaway that he had. And it also got me to thinking that, you know, the people that comment on YouTube, it's a small percentage of those that like watch all the videos, right? So for example, on average, my videos that I would put up, be them people watching live streams over again or a video that I would publish that people would watch, I get about 180 views. And I have about 1,800 subscribers. So, and over the last like several months, okay, so the Pekasim Road, Vanta, I'm gonna stop actually right here, so we're in front of this sign. And I'm gonna check Google Maps, find out if I am on my way to Chao Samran Beach in a fairly notable way. Yeah, no, Google just says keep cruising. I'm on the 428 as well as the 433 here, and it looks like it's labeled 433, 428, so obviously the same thing. I pretty much follow this all the way up, and it looks as though it's close to holding me to the beach. So anyway, it looks like I'm going to and 18 kilometers, so there we go. So I tell you what, let me reset trip A to 0, and so that when that gets to 18. Oh, you guys remember yesterday when I was driving along and I'm like, it looks like I'm going from 143 to 144 kilometers, whatever. The letters are so small. It was actually, you know how you push the select button and you cycle through like metrics that are on the, you know, the dash computer basically? Well, that metric was the voltage on the battery. So the battery voltage is from 14.3 to 14.4. So anyway, all right, so I'm at 0 kilometers, and in 18 we will be at our goal. We will be at our beach goal. I wonder how I reset the time. Maybe I push both these buttons at the same time. Would that there you go, push both buttons at the same time, and the time starts blinking, and that thing cycles through it. Okay, so I don't want to do that, so I want to do this again and push them both, and then the time starts blinking, and then it doesn't reset the time. All right, hold on. Push them both, and then the time starts blinking, and then what do? Hold down select? No, do I hold down set and then push select? maybe you know what would be amazing is that if I push it down and it starts blinking, and then I push like the left-hand turn signal or the right-hand turn signal to change it. No, that doesn't do it. That's too bad. I would really like to know how to change the clock on this thing. If I hold down the set button here, what would I would do? I would allow, if you hold down the set button, then the clock would simply start counting forward like really quickly. But it's not. Ah, there we go. Okay, so you press it one more time. All right, cool. Now I can set the clock. All right, what time is it? It is 11:40. There we go. And then and 11. Awesome. Okay, cool. So here we go. Trip A, 0 kilometers, and it's 11:40. So therefore, Google says I should get there in about 20 minutes. Well, the light's still blinking on the GoPro. And again, if you've just joined, I can't see any comments, so I'm basically just talking into my hand. And we verify the horn works. Yep. Another winner. Noticing as I was cycling through the numbers there that the oil change indicator comes on at 6,000 kilometers. Every 6,000 kilometers. This only has 11,000 kilometers on it, so I believe the other number that I saw in there was 2,514 kilometers, which is probably the amount of distance left before she changes the oil again. I will say, I mean, she's got some inexpensive motorbikes for sure, and like a Honda, like a Scoopy I and that sort of thing. And they were, you know what I always do to check motorbikes for rentals? I just walk up to them and I squeeze the brakes. And if it's got soft brakes, I don't bother. And Chaham Research Station, huh? Wonder what they research. If it's got spongy brakes, I just simply don't do it. And so I didn't do it. And I went up to this motorbike. It's got a sign hanging off of it. And instead of it being 200 baht, it was 300 baht a day. I'm like, okay, awesome. So she goes away, and like her entire parking lot is filled with motorbikes. Like, she's maybe got 5 of them that are rented. I mean, she can barely stand inside of this little parking lot she's got, because there's no more room for motorbikes. So she's got very little inventory that's making her money. So I'm like, okay, I'll get the 300 baht a day motorbike. And she said, okay, well, you can come back like Saturday around 4 o'clock. I'm like, that's fine. I said, look, I only rent motorbikes from you guys when I come to Chaham. And she said, oh, so she gave a thumbs up, and then the lady was filling out my paperwork. They kind of like gave each other the nod and smiled, and I didn't really think anything of it. And then she came up to me and she says, okay, 750 baht. And I said, well, no, it's 300 baht. I said, I don't mind giving you this. She goes, no, I give you a discount. I'm like, why? I'm like, trust me, I'm more than happy to give you guys 300 baht. I mean, like, again, you're the only place I will rent a motorbike from in Cha. Because they take a photo of my passport, they don't ask me for a deposit, and they check the tire pressure. Like, the last thing they do before they hand you the keys is she comes over with this, you know, one of those like curly one of those like beverage, you know, like one of those curly air hoses. Checks the tire pressure, and so I always feel like I'm getting a bike that is, you know, well taken care of. So I'll go back there all day long, and so I gave her 1,000 baht, and she comes back with 250, and I'm like, no, look it. I tell you what, why don't you keep this 1,000? And she goes, no, I give you discount. I'm like, okay, you're awesome, but I'll tell you what, dude, I don't think she was doing it to manipulate me at all. But I'll tell you right now, man, I am a customer for life for Noise Pit Stop. If you guys ever come anywhere near Cha or Hua Hin, because they'll absolutely deliver the bikes to you. NOI, and all you gotta do is type in Noise Pit Stop. And if you're familiar with Cha, then she's on those two streets that I suppose you could, you know, they're the closest thing to like an adult area, or like a well, it's not a red light district, but adult entertainment kind of thing, in the sense that they have like beer bars, right? And anyway, so she's right at the end of each of those. It's also what's referred to as soy bus stop. So yeah, so soy bus stop, basically right there, one block off of Beach Road in Cha. NOI, Noise Pit Stop. Go to her. The next thing that I will tell you I am a customer for life on is GoPro. And I will tell you that their customer service is pretty lousy. I mean, if they were selling their items through Fulfillment by Amazon, that would be an amazingly game-changing e-commerce experience. And it just, I'm dumbfounded at why they wouldn't outsource that entire process to Amazon, other than I'm pretty certain that they make a lot more money, because Fulfillment by Amazon makes Amazon a lot of money. That's why I own Amazon stock, and I don't have my own drop shipping store, and I don't have money invested in any drop shippers. I haven't money invested in Amazon, because Fulfillment by Amazon is a gargantuan moneymaker. Not as much as Amazon Web Services. Amazon Web Services is like 40% markup. They're freaking killing it in the global public cloud market. But GoPro, you know, and who knows, for all I know, it's just because of the customer service, because I'm from, you know, the other side of the world, Southeast Asia. But I mean, if you're a tech company and you're like basically the global Kleenex of action cameras, if you are the noun that is synonymous with action cameras, I've heard guys say, dude, what kind of GoPro do you have? And they're like, oh, I have an SJ cam. Not what kind of action camera do you have, what kind of GoPro do you have? So my point is that they're globally recognizable. And the amount of energy, time, money, investment that it takes to be that kind of brand, their logo is worth so much money that to even slightly ignore any of the Asian market is just, it's fiduciary neglect. So I'm really hoping that GoPro does two things. Either they hire someone that used to work for Amazon.com to run their e-commerce business that is basically at about a B- level. And the second thing is they make sure that they have 110% confidence that they have their patents all lined up for their AI technology that allows this discussion right now where I'm going 40 kilometers an hour. So basically a 40-kilometer wind gust constantly against this microphone that it is somehow magically removed, as well as the AI for horizontal tracking, or horizon tracking, that removes every single bump to the point where I literally can return my my gimbal and get my money back and buy a larger memory stick for my phone, for my GoPro. Hopefully they have the patent so tightly tied in on that, and then they just start licensing the crap out of this technology. Because you can't tell me in the next 3 years every single DSLR on the market, you know, is going to be able to say, oh yeah, you can get our camera, but for another $250 you can buy it with horizon stabilization by GoPro. I don't know if you guys know this. If you wonder why, you know, Toyota obviously is one of the world's best-selling automotive vehicles, automotive manufacturers, okay? They're not the biggest, but arguably they generate certainly in the top 3 of profits. Now, obviously COVID has ruined them, and the statistic I heard is that their profits are down 96%, which means all of it. But nonetheless, the way that Toyota makes a significant amount of profit is that they license their electric car technology. Sadly, the name of that technology escapes me right now, which is too bad. I had it in my mind and then I lost it. Anyway, it's the little label that, whoa, that's a giant monitor lizard. Dude, how cool is that? Oh my God. Wow, that's cool. Anyway, I'm glad this bike has disc brakes. That was kind of neat. Anyway, so hybrid synergy drive. Okay, there you go. Yeah, so hybrid synergy drive. You'll see that little, like, you know, that little sticker sign thingy on the back of like every Prius, right? Well, what many people don't know is that is how Mercedes manufactures hybrid cars. They simply license the hybrid synergy drive from Toyota. And there are a number of other manufacturers that do that. Some of them have the little label on the car to let you know that they're doing it, and others don't. But hybrid synergy drive is one of the oldest, most reliable, because it's Toyota. I first learned about the mathematical, statistical significance of 6 Sigma. Which basically, I believe, the reason they call it 6 is because it is 6 orders of magnitude off of the norm. So off of the center of the bell curve, sorry. And the reason I learned of that label is because Toyota and Honda as well. They have a Six Sigma process with their transmissions, so that the reliability of their transmissions is so high they effectively could offer an unlimited mileage warranty. And provided the transmissions were always filled and replaced with synthetic oil, synthetic lubricant, they would never fail. However, this is relative to their manufacturing process, not the longevity of the parts and the wear and tear. But they have one transmission manufacturing failure. I believe it's every 26 million transmissions. So they can make 26 million transmissions literally perfectly before statistically one will fail, which means none. And that's how I learned about Six Sigma. That's how I really started learning a lot more about Toyota, because, and in doing so, I learned that basically Honda has the same requirement for their manufacturing process in a number of items inside of the car. So that was very interesting to me. And I will tell you that if you've got a manufacturing company that basically can rely on 100% yield, I mean, you're golden. I mean, it's almost like everything you touch turns to gold, sort of thing. Now, of course, the other way that people buy cars is based on their physical beauty or their perceived beauty. So therefore, if all of a sudden Toyota comes out with a car that, quite frankly, looks like a Prius, which I would label as ugly, then, you know, they're potentially not going to sell as many as they do if it looks like a Nissan 300Z, which apparently is sexy, and the world believes those are beautiful cars. Now, there are plenty of people, don't get me wrong, that believe that a Prius is a very attractive car, not just from an engineering standpoint. I got a guy that I used to work with, Matt, and he is so pro Prius. I believe it is literally the only car he will ever buy. When he was working in the help desk at the University of San Diego in IT, he literally obsessed about he would save every single one of his pennies so that he could buy a Prius. And I believe now he's on his third one. And he loves those cars. Now, he loves them, obviously, because he likes to look at them. It has perceived beauty for him, which means it has real beauty for him. And he also is a big fan and has a huge appreciation for the technology, the engineering, the quality, that sort of thing. And then I'm sure, you know, whether he admits it or not, he probably is a big fan of the Toyota brand. There's some degree of status in his circle for owning a hybrid electric vehicle. He usually gets the ones that you can plug in as well, I believe. Which I know is not every single Prius model. There's the plug-in model and then the ones that don't plug in. So, anyway, that's just a little bit of my random thoughts as I drive the motorbike down the road at 41 kilometers an hour, avoiding this ugly, dangerous sand that's off here on the left. That kind of bothers me. I'm bummed that they didn't and no, I don't have black lung because I smoke 3 packs a day. I'm basically talking out loud without a mask on in the dusty air that is available on the street in Thailand. So I had to take a sip of my beverage. I'm actually almost at zero volume actually on my I'm at 11.2 kilometers on my Cafe Boran. I believe that's how he pronounced it. And 25 baht. I'm more than okay with that. He gave me a nice smile. I believe he tried to educate me on how to say Cafe Boran. I don't know if I did it correctly, but I appreciate his tutelage. So not necessarily a minivan up here with these two people, but definitely an Asian sedan. Those people, those women were quite large, actually. A lot of sand going on right now. A lot of sand on the left here. Kind of bugs me. The good news is, though, is that these cars that are passing me, they're not being obnoxious about it, and they're certainly giving me enough space where I don't feel threatened. It's kind of funny, Dana, like, I don't know if you're watching, or other guys that have been living over here in Thailand for a while. I don't know if I don't know what your opinion is on Asian drivers, because I will tell you that, you know, I grew up with and obviously experienced Asian drivers, certainly in Southern California. That was where I experienced my highest density of Asian interface. Thai friends, Thai acquaintances, other Asian people, certainly in my engineering degree. My buddy's girlfriend, great friend of mine too, Sylvia, she was Asian. Anyway, you know, the sort of joke, right, is that, like, Asian drivers don't know how to drive, right? Asians don't know how to drive. And I kind of wonder whether that's simply based on the fact that they don't know how to drive like we drive in America, which is offensively or offensively very offensive. Now again, if you're from Vietnam, you know, you're driving on the right, Philippines on the right, Thailand on the left, China, I believe, drives on the left, or maybe China drives on the right and Hong Kong drives on the left. I cannot remember, but certainly there's an Asian population that drives on the left. And then they come to the US and they drive on the right. So I get how that difficulty is there. But I gotta tell you, I raise this because I would submit to you that Asian driving, the Thai drivers that I experienced, they're ridiculously cautious. The majority of them are a lot more cautious than the majority of the drivers that I experience in the United States. And certainly that's basically the majority of that experience is involved in Southern California and southeastern Massachusetts, Boston area. So I don't know. I'm starting to think that the Asian population in the United States needs to figure out a way to driving, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen. Chao Samran Beach was that faded blue sign back there. And as you guys know, if there's a faded sign and it's got the word beach on it, I am there. I did not hook up an external battery to my, so therefore I'm limited to approximately a 2-hour live stream, which is arguably good because then that limits me to 2 hours of speaking with 40-mile-an-hour hot, dry wind flashing in my face. So, maybe not. I am at 14.8 kilometers.